Welcome back. Natural gas prices volatile as the Middle East conflict threatens LNG flows through the Strait of Hormuz. Qatar has halted production after Iranian drone strikes. Prices somewhat stabilized after Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent pledged additional steps to support shipping in the Gulf. And the president told us he will be helping to provide insurance for tankers. He even said that the Navy would escort tankers across to ensure safety of the flow of energy. The White House preparing further measures to protect that flow. Analysts are warning prolonged LNG disruption could push prices higher, adding to inflation worries while weighing on global growth. Joining me now is the president and CEO of EQT, Toby Rice. Toby, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Of course, your company is America's largest natural gas operator. What is your take on all of this?
I think these type of events really showcase the power of the American energy system, the power of the American energy producer, and how this has really insulated Americans from geopolitical shocks that are taking place around the world. You know, while we have seen international gas prices respond to over 10 BCF a day of LNG supply coming offline with Qatar, it's about 25% of the world's LNG. Americans have not seen that price impact here domestically. U.S. Henry Hub prices have barely seen a blip. We're looking at sub $4 natural gas prices here in the U.S. average for 26. That's the equivalent of sub $30 oil price. And the only reason this is possible is because of the size and scale of American energy, certainly showcasing why this is one of the most strategic industries in America.
Well, it certainly is. And we were just talking about my trip to the Permian Basin recently. I went to the Permian Basin and watched from an oil rig as well as the shale production. But what I also noticed was natural gas being flared up. And what I was told was we've got so much natural gas, and when we're drilling for oil, the natural gas comes out too, but we've got so much, but we don't have the infrastructure in place to actually deliver it to where it needs to go. The pipeline infrastructure. What do you think about that?
Yeah, we are not only blessed with great resources. What really makes shale work, what gives us the opportunity to have such a great surplus, is the innovation from this industry. I mean, we're fracking with jet engines right now. With the technology that we're deploying to crack the code on shale and bring more abundant, cost-effective energy to Americans is nothing short of spectacular. We've seen a 21-fold increase in the efficiency per rig. That's the impact of technology here in this country. But, you know, we do have some weaknesses in the system, and we just got through another big event here domestically that highlighted some of those weaknesses. You know, Winter Storm Fern. First off, the American industry, when the stakes were high, American energy stepped up, kept people safe. And, you know, a month later, we see that prices have come down. We're also protecting not only families, we're protecting their pocketbooks. It makes us incredibly proud of the accomplishments through this event. But what we saw during the stress time is there's certain pockets of this country that are paying outrageously high energy prices. The fact that Boston, Massachusetts pays the highest natural gas prices in the world in the wintertime, despite being next to the biggest gas field in the world where we produce out here in Appalachia, just is a signal of how crazy it's gotten. And the root cause of all this is lack of pipeline infrastructure.
Okay.
You block pipelines, prices go up. We build more, Americans will pay less.
Yeah, I mean, Mark, jump in here on this lack of infrastructure. You would think that we would be having a huge surge in companies getting created for this very reason.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons that we're playing natural gas through owning the pipeline companies. I think it's super important because, as you mentioned, when you were interviewing the Diamondback CEO, like they're basically disposing of the natural gas that they're arriving at because they just don't have the pipeline infrastructure in place. Toby, question for you: how much of an increase in demand have you seen for what you do, for maybe the natural gas landscape overall, because of this AI boom that we've seen over the course of the last, I don't know, 3.5 years or so?
Yeah, just stepping back, looking at total natural gas demand, I've never seen a demand setup for natural gas in the 20 years I've been in this. Well, that's providing energy security to the world with LNG, which we see that growing another 10% over the next 5 years, and specifically on power generation, an even more exciting story where we see anywhere from 10 to 20% increase in natural gas demand, 10 to 20 BCF a day. So these are just absolutely incredibly large numbers. But as Maria mentioned, we have an incredibly large resource base and an incredibly powerful industry to meet this demand. And that's our track record. We do have the ability to do that, assuming we can let market forces work and get the infrastructure built that needs to meet this demand. But just to frame up the resource potential we believe we have we can create a surplus of 50 to 60 BCF a day of natural gas to service enhanced LNG or meet all the power demand needs we have. So we've got it. The question is, can we get the infrastructure built? And these aren't just pie in the sky numbers. I mean, we're seeing the power demand numbers show up in actual. If you look toward the gas turbine orders, we're seeing 10 BCF a day, 10 to 13 BCF a day of turbine orders just in the past 3 years. You look at the data centers that are in construction right now, we'll utilize about 6% of these numbers, and the data centers that have been announced are 10%. There's no question this is going to happen. The real question is, how fast can we get this done? And speed matters, because people need to recognize we are in a race to win this AI race with China, and speed is a very important factor in this, and we got to get serious about getting infrastructure built.
So, I mean, one reason that you recently acquired Headquartered, and of course, with one of the largest acreage basins in the Appalachian Basin, how do you stay a low-cost producer here with this AI boom driving a major shift in data center power? I mean, nearly 75% of planned on-site generation relies on natural gas, and it's remaining the backbone of U.S. power generation, supplying 40% of the grid. The White House wants tech executives to take on the cost. They met at the White House yesterday. They signed a new ratepayer protection pledge aimed at having data centers build or secure their own electricity supply to shield consumers from higher bills. The president talked about it and launched it at the State of the Union. Talk to us about your plans, given the need to gain scale, stay the low-cost producer in the industry, and does that come with another acquisition or organic?
Yeah, so our position as a low-cost operator is really driven by a high-quality asset base. That's not going to change. Given higher demand, we've got a deep inventory that's going to allow us to continue to produce these results for decades. The ultimate picture, though, is how do we create lower energy prices for America? And it's very simple to be able to do that. Let's get our lowest cost energy resources into the market. And the lowest cost energy resource we have is natural gas. And just to put this in perspective, $4 natural gas is the energy equivalent of 50-cent gasoline. So let's figure out how we can get more of that low-cost fuel to service this demand. And the key to making that happen is going to be building more pipeline infrastructure. And actually, when we build pipeline infrastructure at EQT, it actually has the impact of lowering our overall cost structure. This is why we can see a trend being sub $2 cost structure. That means we can meet this growth, maintain our margins, and lower energy bills for consumers. And the biggest opportunity we have to make this happen is leveraging our retired coal facilities, where we've ripped out power generation. A lot of times this electric infrastructure is still in place. It's a great opportunity for us to site data centers at these facilities, build the natural gas power generation right next door to it, and leverage those grid connections. It's an opportunity where we can build bigger power generation to service the data center, feed excess into the grid, and that's a way you can lower prices for Americans.
Very good. Toby will be watching. Thanks very much for being here this morning.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Toby Rice. We'll be right back. You're watching Mornings with Maria, live on Fox Business. Stay with us.